Now, I will tell you about creation, how God created us. It says that in Genesis 1, verse 26, and God created, then God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness. Then God created us. So we are created in the likeness of God, in the image of God. So in the first place, when God created us, we are created as holy. We are created as pure being, righteous being, holy one, holy being, because God said that He created us in His likeness. So, what is the likeness of God? The likeness of God is holy. The likeness of God is righteousness. The likeness of God is purity. The likeness of God is unblemished and full of glory. So, we are created in that state. So, God created us in His image. So, meaning to say, righteousness is in us when we are created in the original one, when Adam and Eve did not fall into sin. So we are created in the image of God, or we are like the characters of God, holy, righteous, pure. So we are created in His likeness. God said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness. Um, he said to the human being, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all creatures that move along the ground. So it means to say that God shares His authority and power, because God rules over the universe, over the heavens, over the earth, all things. He rules, He dominates. So when God created man, He has a plan for man to have dominion, to take dominion all over the creation of the world. So it means to say that in the original plan of God, human beings are the one to control the world. Human beings are the one to control the animals, the weather, everything that is on the earth. So God will take dominion. It means to say that if human beings, or if Adam did not commit sin, then there will be no famine, there will be no earthquake, there will be no uh, pestilences or diseases. Why? Because we are in the likeness of God. We are created in the likeness of God, and God does not die. God does not sick, or there is no illness in God. So it means to say that if Adam and Eve, or the human being, did not fall into sin, then we are a people that is in the image of God, in the likeness of God, that we are a people that will not die. We will not die. It's because we are in the likeness of God. So, according to them, according to some, they said that if human being did not commit sin, or Adam and Eve did not commit sin, we will not multiply, we will not increase in number. No, it is not. It's because the plan of God is to multiply. So God created man in His own image, in the image of God created him, male and female. He created them. So we are created by God, male and female. So there is no other gender, but only male and female. So we must take heed that the design of God for human being is only male and female. So God said all humans that, or he said to Adam and Eve that be fruitful. He said, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. So fill the earth and subdue it. So it means to say that before Adam and Eve fall into sin, God has already a plan for them to multiply, to increase in number. So the notion or the teaching that says that uh, we will not multiply or we will not increase if Adam and Eve did not commit sin, that is wrong. It's because God has already blessed them and said to Adam and Eve that be fruitful and increase in number and replenish the earth, fill the earth and subdue it, fill the earth and subdue it. So that's why uh, today we are around 7 or 8 or 9 billion people around the world. Why? Because that was the command of God to multiply, to replenish the whole earth, to subdue it. So God is a pro-life. God is a pro-life. He is not anti-life. If there is anything that will oppose life, then that is not of God. Because God is a pro-life. He is not anti-life. So he said that when God made Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, he said that be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it. Then he said, rule over the face of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. So God commanded Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply and also take dominion or rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and every living creature that moves on the ground. So this is the command of God. This is what God said to Adam and Eve, that they will multiply and they will rule the fish, they will rule the plants, they will rule the beast of the harvest, they will rule over the every living creature that moves on the ground. So God shares his power, God shares his authority to human beings, to Adam and Eve. That's why if Adam and Eve did not committed sin, then the whole world is peaceful. So there will be no war, there will be no killing, there will be no murder, there will be no genocide, there will be no uh, catastrophe or disaster that will happen in this world if Adam and Eve did not commit sin. So in this command of God to Adam and Eve to fill or to replenish the earth and rule over the fish, over the birds, over every living creature is assured power or assured authority from the Lord to human beings. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree and has fruit with seed in it, they will be yours for food. So all fruits of the trees will be our food, or the food of human being. The vegetables, the herbs are food for human beings. So it means to say that God provided everything. When God created the human beings, he provided everything so that so that man will not starve or will not die. So he created everything. He created the plants, he created the fruits, he created the herbs, the vegetables, the fish, the birds, everything, so that human being will not die, but in abundance. So the original plan of God is to live in abundance. Adam and Eve were living in abundance. So that is how God cares for us, how God loves us. And he said, rule over all beasts of the earth and all birds of the air, all the creatures that move on the ground, everything that has the breath of life. In it, I give every green plant for food. So it means to say that everything that God has created, like herbs, like animals, like fish, those are food for us. So that's how God created us. So the most important thing is that He created us in His image and in His likeness. So it means to say that we human being must reflect what God is. And God is holy, God is righteous, God is pure. So we must live in holiness, in righteousness, in the image of God. So because that is the plan of God. So that's all that I am sharing you today about how God created us. Thank you.